Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm done. Okay, so this is a new volume test. I have it set to 13 now, and this is just a test, so bear with it. I'm gonna figure out my audio levels hopefully very, very soon. However, with this video marks, I don't actually know what it marks. I don't know why I said that. That sounded stupid. However, what doesn't sound stupid is on the last episode of this, I have up to 222 views, which is amazing. I don't think I don't think everyone made it to the end, but oh well, that's what I'm gonna have to deal with to start out with, hopefully. And yeah, so this is the World of Writer episode 3, I think, or 4. Let me check. 'Cause, I don't actually know. Give me 5 seconds, I am so sorry. This is unprofessionalism at its finest. Just saying. Yeah, episode 3. Okay, so this is World of Writer episode 3. World of Writer episode 3. Hopefully this goes well. I don't know, the last episode didn't go too well, but you know. Starting problems. We have about 3 subscribers now. But, yeah. Oh well, screw it. I don't care. Fuck, I am off the walls right now. World of Writer episode 3. Today, we will be talking about Kamen Rider X8. Episode 4 officially subbed. And I hate Laser. I hate Laser. I hate Laser. Because he started out kind of cool. He approaches M and says, I need your help. Can you help me? There was a guy, well, no, sorry, that's after. He approaches M and says, can you help me? I have a guy here who is affected with the Bugster virus. And he kind of goes, not really, but like, I can try. And Laser goes, oh yeah, your guts are taken away. That's right. I can help you with that. Just give me a while. And so, excuse me, jeez. And so, he goes and finds Snipe and challenges him to a race. And before that, X8M calls Brave. And I loved how in this episode, Brave was clueless beyond compare. Like, there's only been 4 episodes, but in the other 3, in the other 2, because I'm not smart, in the other 2, he was pretty aware of what's going on. With this episode, he had no clue what was going on, and I loved it. It was amazing. Because M tells the guy that he can't do the surgery himself, and that he's called another person to come help. And then Snipe shows up. Snipe shows up and says, well, actually, Snipe shows up and M asks Snipe what he's doing there. And Snipe goes, well, you see, I never backed down from the challenge. Okay. And so it's obviously Gashat versus Gashat. Actually, no, it's not. It's not technically. It is if Laser wins, that if Laser wins, he gets M's Gashat back because Snipe took it in the last episode because X8 lost the challenge. And if Snipe wins, then Snipe gets the Bakshul bike Gashat, which is kind of fair, not really. And so the guy turns into his Bugster form. Wheel, come on, a little on the nose, I do have to say. Thinking that barking, it's great, isn't it? That's the dangers of filming outside. I don't know if there's an echo. I can hear like an echo. It sounds weird. If there is an echo, I am so sorry. There is an echo. I'm gonna have to turn that down a bit. So he turns. Laser henshins. I hate how his henshin is so awesome, but he's actually not a nice guy. I love that henshin though. The click with he pushes the button on the Gashat, turns around, and then takes the Gashat, flips it over to his henshin, and puts it on the driver. And while the character select's going up, he kicks it. He just kicks it. It looks badass. But, so he henshins, they both do actually. And I do love how Bakshul bike, let's just talk about that for a while. For a minute, actually. More than a minute. But Bakshul bike, it is a racing game with no rules. You can literally do anything to win. Keep that in mind, that will be important for later. I just wanted to say that now. Just keep that in mind. It'll be important later. So anyway, he henshins, they fight. Laser wins, and the Bugster and the guy get separated. Well, the Bugster summons his bike. He literally says, "My bike," and then summons it. And he jumps on and starts riding away. And then Snipe goes and tries to run after him. And then, so Snipe, Brave gets in the way. And so Laser says, oh, now it's time to get serious. And so he level 2s, which freaks M out because bike. And it was funny because M is talking to his nurse. And when Laser henshins to level 1, he goes, oh, so that means you're a writer. And his nurse goes, well, it's a bit complicated. And so he flips to level 2 and transforms into the bike with that amazing music. I do have to say, Bakshul Bike's level 2 music is amazing. I hate it, but I'll get into that later. And so I lost my place. Shit. I lost my place. Fuck. Oh yeah, level 2, and transforms into a bike, and his nurse, M's nurse, goes, he's an ally. Like, he needs a person to ride. He needs a person to help him. Yeah, he needs a person to help him. He needs a rider to help him. And the bugster is getting away, and Laser calls to M and goes, hey, let's go, he's getting away. Well, M is worried about the patient, and he says this to Laser. He's like, the patient comes first. And so he goes and checks on the patient, and Laser is annoyed by this and just goes, nah, I'll go after him myself. And so Laser starts chasing the bugster, and the bugster goes faster. And so Laser tries going faster, and I don't know if it's on purpose or it's a fail-safe, but Laser tries to go faster and he gets flipped back to level 1. And I don't know if if that was on purpose or if that was a fail-safe to keep him from going too fast and wiping out and killing himself. But so he goes faster, flips back to level 1, and yanks his gush out. And then Laser goes back to M and goes, what the hell was that? Like, I thought we said we were fighting him, and like, what's going on? And M says that the patient comes first and all the things he said before. And so the patient is worried about his sister, which is stressing him out because before the patient gets blasted with the bugster virus, his sister is taken because his sister, the opening scene is them two talking about how the patient forgot his lunch, and so his sister had to go give it to him. And then we get the flashback of her being taken and then him being blasted with the bugster virus, which causes him to change. And so he is going, I don't care like what happens to me, save her. And the Laser and M talk again. Laser talks to M and says, like, we need to save her. Where is she? And M goes, your guy shot's a racing game. I see. You are a genius after all. And of course me, I'm going, huh? That made no sense. And M elaborates on that by saying that if your Gashette is a racing game, then she'd probably be at the finish line. Well, she technically is, but she technically isn't. So we cut to the bad guys lair? Not really. It's some place where they're keeping her. And it's the Bugster and Genmu, I think. And the Bugster is talking to Genmu, I think, and tells him that there are 4 riders in play now. And they're just talking about, he's like, oh really? Okay, time to go level the playing field. And by level the playing field, I think he means like leveling the damn plane, like leveling it, like destroying it. But he goes on to, well, it cuts back to Laser and M, and Laser henshins goes to level 2, and then M puts his driver on, gets on Laser, and says level select, and hits the Kimiwaza button, his final attack button, and he's flipping through scenes, and I don't think he clicks it, I think he just clicks it once and it's like clicking through, and then it reaches the racing game, and then he gets transported there, and then the sister gets whooshed away. Like, she gets teleported away, and she's at the finish line, and the Bugster goes, ooh, it's time to, like, you know, fight or whatever. I don't exactly remember what he said, but he said, it's like, ooh, it's time, let's go, or something like that. I don't know, I don't really care. It wasn't that important. But M and the Bugster are side by side on a racetrack. And M goes, there's the goal. And so they start the race. And keep in mind, it's Box Show Bike. This is a game that has no rules whatsoever, okay? No rules whatsoever. You can play this game however the hell you want. So, start, they go off. About a quarter through the race, X8 henshins. And then they start basically battling each other on bikes. At least this wasn't decade. Card games on motorcycles. That'd be fun. No, it wouldn't. Or Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games on motorcycles, but you know, oh well. If you get that reference, 20 points to you. Probably not, but you know. Still. But anyway, so they start battling each other, and then X8 starts getting wise, and so he summons his Gashicon Breaker, puts it into sword mode, and then slices, or rather, does a slash and breaks his bike. And then he turns it back into the breaker mode, into the the hammer mode, and he's hitting blocks, and then they get a jumping item, and then hit, break, destroyed. And so he hits the X8 hits the monster, and then the monster's destroyed, and they go and grab the sister because she's falling and they don't want her to die. Well, it cuts back to the patient, and he's no longer translucent or see-through. Is that the same word? I don't actually know. But, oh well. He's back to normal. And the nurse says that the sister is saved. She's fine. And he's all relieved about that, and it cuts back to X8 and Laser, and they are back in the real world. Kind of. Technically, yes, they are back in the real world. And so Laser says to X8, to get off of him. And so he does, and then Laser flips back to level 1 and walks over there and goes, okay, now I can get a sample. Well, X8 asks, like, oh, aren't we buddies? Because that happened. During their talk about, with Laser's gas shot, Laser tells are we buddies? M's like, yeah, we are. Well, no, you're not. Because as it turns out, the story that Laser told was fake. There was no guy that was affected that he knew of, or rather that he knew and cherished, I guess would be the word, that was affected by the Buckster virus. It was fake. He just wanted to get close to get a sample so he could figure out how to stop it, which isn't a bad thing. Although I don't know why X8 makes it seem that way. And so Kamen blows it up. Dark X8 blows the body up. That's probably copyrighted music. And I could get sued for that. But Laser looks up and sees Kamen and goes, getting rid of the evidence, eh? And X8 sees Kamen and goes, holy shit. Turns to the sister and goes, run fast. He doesn't say fast, he's just like, run. And so there was a part that I had missed, and that was that when Snipe and Brave were fighting that first time that someone showed up. And it was Kamen, and he had used Sakaraki Sports to stupidly, he did a Kimiwaza and it hit both of them. Knocked him down to almost dead, because that's what happens when you reach 0. And so they dehension and went their separate ways. Well, he comes back, does the same thing, except instead of pushing the button and plugging it into his final attack, he pushes the button, it says Sakaraki Sports, and he takes his lever, flips it back to level 1, takes Sakaraki Sports, plugs it into plugs it into the second, slot on his gamer driver and flips back. And thus we have level 3 of Genmu's. And then he does a Kimiwaza. And it hits, and Laser is almost down to dead again. Well, not again, but third rider for the second time. Yeah. And then that's basically where the episode ends. And we get the next episode preview for Exod's level 3, which should be interesting. And that's about it for me. That's about all I can talk about. Well, that's about all I have to say. So I will leave you there. And I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.